recruiting volunteers for some deep space research. We'll talk a little bit about that. And finally, are you financially literate? Yeah, I took this 8-question test today. Well, it says I am. We're going to talk a little bit about today. But first, guys, before we get to the ABCs, I want to give a wishes shout out to my dear friend Angela, going through a little procedure today. Good luck. She's going to knock it out of the park, as I say. And how about a rest in peace shout out to Bonnie Tyler? Did you guys see that? Hey, what about that movie? A great movie, Footloose from 1984. Kevin Bacon, holding out for a hero. That was the song in that movie. Loved it. And a total eclipse of the heart. So Bonnie, she was killing it in the 80s. So I remember her. Big influence on my life because, hey, 80s. That's what it's all about, guys. All right, let's jump right into the ABCs. How did you do today? All body workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. Yeah, we talk about that every single day because it's crucial. How did you do? Remember, caring for the body. That's very important. We'll talk a little bit about the Army, but how'd I do today? Well, I'm getting 3 checks, guys. Went to the gym. I've been tired all week. I mean, this has sort of been my theme lately. Lack of motivation, tired, but you got to muscle through the workout. I did, got through it today. Short and sweet, but I'm getting a full check on that. Slept well. That's important. Got to sleep well, guys. I just read something about research where every hour you lose sleeping, it definitely has a negative effect on you. So you got to work on sleeping best you can. And finally, the colorful diet. Went with the oatmeal today. Oatmeal, peanut butter, apple, banana, blueberries. So definitely, getting the diet back on track. I lost the 2 pounds that I gained, so I'm back to my solid weight. Remember, gotta love the scale. Get on the scale every single day. All right, guys, let's just jump right into this here. New body standards for the Army. I read this morning. It said soldiers will be required to maintain a waist to height ratio of 0.55 or under. Yeah, other than that, you're going to have to go through some training, some remedial physical fitness training. Check it out. So if you're 5'6", that means you could have a 36-inch waist. I mean, guys, I have a 30-inch waist, so I'm at like 0.4 something. My ratio, I think, what am I, 5'7" or so, 5'7.5", I don't even know. But anyway, yeah, if you're 6 feet tall, that means you could have a 40-inch waist. So hey, I'm all for this. This is response to the War Department ordering. Yeah, they want to target, or it's all about military fitness for the battlefield, which I agree. I think police officers should have a similar. They get tested twice a year. Listen, if you fail it, you take another test again. But if you fail 180 days later, they said they're going to put you on this remedial program called the Army Body Composition Program. Yeah, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, he says he wants the strongest and most lethal fighting force on the planet. I get that, but what about long-term health? It's all about promoting long-term health, getting this body in top physical condition to weather the storm, because the storm's coming, guys, without a doubt. You get behind the 8 ball, it's not good to get behind the 8 ball. So I'm all for that, man. The better fit, the better you are to perform on the battlefield. I agree with that. How about this? Speaking of war, the Iran war. On again, off again, here we go again. This is my biggest fear here with the war. I've been a Donald Trump fan all along. I'm not a fan of wars. You guys know that from the previous show, Ukraine war, any war. All right. The Iran war, it's just, a money pit. It's a money pit that killing people's not a good thing. But I said this way back when, I don't know, 2 months ago. This war's been going on for how many months? They said 4 weeks. I think it's going to be 40 weeks. I really do. I think the Iranians are going to drag this thing out past the midterms because they know it's Trump's folly. That's what I'm afraid of. This is going to be something down the road is going to say, what did he do? He picked a fight with the wrong adversary. I watch a lot of these videos. It's like a honey badger. good luck attacking lions. Are afraid of honey badgers, these tiny little things. But I'll tell you, they're tricky. They're tricky to fight. They're vicious. But Iran is a formidable opponent. They're not a rational opponent. I said this a while ago. Get out or take Karj Island. We didn't take the island full force. Now we're going to have this back and forth. I think this goes on for another couple of months, guys. I really do. Not good for us, not good for inflation, not good for the markets, but we will weather this storm without a doubt, and we will win, whatever that means. But I hope it ends soon and it doesn't become this folly that lasts for 6 months, and who knows what happens with the midterms. All right, guys, let's move on to something a little more ethereal or maybe more positive. Do you see this? NASA, deep space, anyone, is recruiting research participants, not going to be me, for the agency's next simulated deep space mission. Yeah, this takes place in Houston, Texas at the Johnson Space Center. Check it out. They're going to be doing it in August of next year, August 2027. They're looking for research volunteers to spend a year living and working in interplanetary environment. Good luck with that. All right. The Moon and Mars Exploration Analog, they're calling it. They're going to use these insights. Now, again, I'm not a moon and space person. You guys know this from a previous show. I don't think we should be spending all that money. Man on the moon, man on Mars. I'm not for it, but they're going to use the insights, they say, to keep astronauts. Man, I got something with the words today. I don't know what's going on. Keeping these astronauts safe for future operations. I don't know. Again, I'm not for that. All right. But if you want to be a candidate, good for you. You need to have a strong desire. This is what they say. Strong desire for unique, rewarding experiences and interest in contributing to NASA's work to prepare for extended stays on the lunar surface and the first crewed mission to Mars. Go to nasa.gov for that. Yeah, you could do it. Explore the moon. Scientific discoveries, economic benefits to establish an enduring human presence on the lunar surface. I don't know. Scientific discoveries. Yeah, they talk about all those discoveries helping. How they helping me in the next 20 years? I don't know. I'd like to know. Economic benefits. What economic benefits do we get from living on the moon except costing us money? I'm not sure. Enduring human presence on the moon. And you guys know my thoughts on that. If God meant for us to be living on the moon, we'd be living on the moon. But hey, join up. Go to nasa.gov if you're interested, not me. All right, number 4, financial. I like this. Check it out. Financial literacy. I took this test. Financial knowledge and education leads to better financial outcomes. That's proven. So if you're not financially literate, you need to become. You see this? Guys, here's a fun fact for you. 33% of adults under the age of 35 are living with their parents. Hey, that's good if you're saving money, but you need to be financially literate. They say only 5% of U.S. adults can answer all 8 questions. Yeah, I just took this test. I was 8 for 8, so I got them all right. Hey, I went to Wharton undergrad, Kellogg, MBA from Kellogg. I should be able to answer these questions. Anyway, it's at a 10-year low. Financial literacy is at a 10-year low. No kidding. Taught for 5 years. These kids can't even do simple math in 5th grade. They can't even read, let alone be financially literate. Yeah, this is a test that was created by TIAA Institute and the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center. I like that. They're doing this. They say 13% of adults can't answer any questions. They're 0 for 8. They say, what is it? They say half the adults get 4 of the questions right. And you got to go take this. Market Watch. Go to marketwatch.com. Take this test. Make sure you're financially literate. That's important. You need to understand what the hell's going on in the world of finance. That's crazy. I think it's crucial. Yeah, same thing with taking care of your body. It's all crucial. All right, guys. That's it. Just having some fun today. Let's finish up with the three Tola takeaways. Get you on your way. It's going to be hot. Well, hot throughout most of the country, but it's going to be hot here in Indy today for sure. But let's wrap it up. What is crucial? Respect the ABCs. Of course, the Army's getting in on this, right? Check out your waist to height ratio. Should be less than 0.55. Work on that because, again, all body workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. That's you taking care of your body for the future. All right, number two, pick up the phone. Go see somebody. Value your community. Respect these people. Help them out. Maybe somebody's lonely. Pick up the phone. Don't just text. Do it in person. And finally, always be willing to accept another person's opinion. This is about being open minded. Hey, guys, if you believe we should spend billions of dollars on the moon, that's great. That's your opinion. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. I'd rather take the money and give it to the citizens of the United States who could use the money. But hey, whatever. It's always good to accept people for who they are. All right, guys, have an awesome day. And as always, get your workout in. Peace.